Another edition of Riding Home. This one, the late night edition, almost 2 a.m. Georgia winning, what was the score?
23-17.
They escaped that one because they almost gave it away.
I mean, it was like it looked like Georgia handily had it.
What is happening right
close
now?
to the end? Why are they all coming this way?
They can come
We're leaving the media parking lot, but we just got some Georgia fans walking around, not sure where they're going. But the Georgia Bulldogs won 23-13.
Are you trying to switch the subject?
A little bit. I didn't want to say anything rude, so I thought I'd get back on the subject.
Yes, we're developing.
There we go. I thought it should have been more.
Yeah.
They did let Notre Dame back into the game. I thought the defense, in particular, the secondary, played really well. Jake Fromm made a lot of big throws when he needed to. What else stood out to you about the game to you guys?
Dylan?
They couldn't cover the tight end there, 84, for like the whole first half, it seemed like. For Notre Dame.
Over the middle, too.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was open every single time.
But you got to run.
Yeah, they only had 46 rushing yards on him. I think 14 carries.
It's not going to work, man.
You can't win a game like that.
That definitely was not the strength of their team, and I think that's something most experts thought Georgia would be able to do, is stop the run, and that's exactly what they did.
Well,
yeah.
and they tried to avoid it at most costs, too. I mean, we were looking at it. Ian Book threw the ball 47 times. I mean, they were doing their best not to run the ball.
It's not Washington State. I mean, look, can I just say
Washington State wins games.
Well, okay.
Notre Dame is a better opponent than I thought they were.
I was just going to say.
I thought from the beginning that was going to be a one touchdown 10-point game. Honestly, I thought people would sleep on Notre Dame a little bit, like even like coming into the week.
If you go for it there, or if Fromm gets that first down, the game's over.
Oh yeah.
With 10, you're up 10 with 6 to go, and the clock just runs. I didn't see TV, obviously. When you're on the field, it's hard to know certain things.
It's so different.
It is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a lot to talk about. We better hustle here because I thought Jake Fromm did really play well. DeAndre Swift
did or did not. I mean,
I thought Fromm played well. I thought Swift played well.
Yeah.
I thought Swift had pulled his hamstring for a second there, but it's a turn when exactly when I couldn't say. Maybe early third. I was like, did he just pull his hamstring?
I remember that he had a little weird stutter step, it seemed like. But I think that's just a part of his
No, I think he got touched or hit or something. But
he got it together because he played his best ball after that in the third quarter.
98 yards is adequate.
Yeah.
It was fine. I thought it could have been more. Look, if you're Georgia, you have to end the games. They were probably 2 moments where they should have ended the game. I think a lot of the fans thought that Notre Dame was going to be easy.
Roll over.
Yeah. And that's fine. But
yeah, I'd say a couple hundred left probably after we went up.
That's what I was telling them. Yeah, there were a few. There was like 5.5 minutes left in the game. Georgia's up 13, and it did. And a lot of people were heading for the exits. I guess trying to get their last minute drinks in before it closed up. But I thought Georgia would be able to run the ball a little bit more than they did. And they still rushed for about a little over 150.
Which is okay.
I think, but especially in the first half, they
didn't have the ball.
But I mean, even then, when they did, they just couldn't run the ball well.
But dude, games change on plays. Obviously, is a simple way of putting it. If
Tyler Simmons
wasn't offsides and didn't fumble, right? If he doesn't fumble the punt return, this game is not probably.
It's 7-3 going into the second half.
Yeah,
Notre Dame had the better punter in the game, though.
So. Well, I'm talking about that. Listen,
that.
It's time to open up the position because he's not performing when you have to perform.
Yeah.
You talk about the Sugar Bowl, that hurt them badly,
big time.
Yeah,
and tonight, a normal punt, a 40-yard punt, would be adequate and make Notre Dame drive 60 yards to win rather than 50 or 45.
You can tell that anytime there's a little pressure getting to him, it's not going to be a great punt. If he's got all day to punt, he'll boom at 70 yards like he did against Arizona State and Murray State. But when you come close to him, that it's going off the side of his foot like it did earlier.
It's a real problem. I mean, Clemson's punter is not great.
Yeah.
But
you're not going to consistently win games by 20.
But he's hitting them in the air.
Georgia's not going to consistently win games by 20 because they don't play in the ACC.
They got a kicker, though. Rodrigo's been money.
Got a kicker. I'm not even going there. I'm waiting for him to miss a kick because he's a kicker. It happens.
He'll miss one.
He hasn't missed one yet, though. They needed every point he put through those uprights tonight.
They did.
He scored 11 points.
Yeah. Player of the game, I guess you could give it to Rodrigo. J.R. Reed. I think J.R. Reed had a hell of a game. Fromm made the throws. Lawrence Cager too.
Holy shit.
That catch was nuts.
Those back-to-back catches.
Are we not going to talk about the pass interferences that were just simply not called?
Yeah.
There was a few. I mean, did you think the one on the
was not ideal either.
The one on the Pickens throw on the
totally. I was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pass interference. Now they didn't call it all night, but that's pass interference, and that changes games. I don't know.
People say they call PI too much. They call holding too much nowadays. The game drags because of it. But
what are the rules? This is what aggravates me so much. Is what are the rules? And let's play by the rules or no.
Sometimes it depends on the player too. Julio Jones never gets a call, and George Pickens didn't get a call today.
What are we doing right here? Why? He's got his red lights on. Why doesn't he just go?
He's just hanging out.
But why do you have your red lights on then? I get the cop. That makes sense.
This fire truck just sitting right here.
It's a red light. Well, then why do you have your
downtown
lights?
Athens is the other way too.
Oh, they're gonna burn that bitch to the ground. I don't think they had enough time.
No, definitely not.
I mean, 2.5 hours for this crowd.
Yeah.
Because they sober up during the game too, so they got to reestablish their their drunken ignorance before they actually start burning stuff down.
I am really at a loss for words for what just happened with that fire truck right there.
Oh, something's going on over there.
Oh, there's a wreck up there.
I think at the end of the day, Georgia did not play well in big.
I thought,
generally speaking,
I wouldn't say they didn't play well. They just didn't play
their best.
Yeah,
that's probably better. That's probably a better way of putting it. Everybody thinks I'm too critical, and I
thought both teams played hard.
Notre Dame surprised me.
I thought they played way better than I thought.
I'm not sure Notre Dame will lose many more games.
They're not losing to Michigan the way they played tonight.
No, they're not. But
not losing to Stanford.
Virginia is the second best team in the ACC, and every team that I've said that about has subsequently lost to Wake Forest. So the ACC's second best team is Virginia. I don't think Notre Dame's going to have a problem with them, but we'll see. But they play SC. They've got Michigan, who's just not great.
Stanford's bad.
SC might be their
SC could be the toughest game they play, but then you start talking about 11-1 Notre Dame. Do they get in?
No. Well, it depends on everyone else. I mean, I don't think Ohio State's losing. You got the SEC champion.
Ohio State always loses, so they're probably going to lose.
We'll see.
People don't. I mean,
there's a lot of football left to be played.
Clemson going undefeated last year is an anomaly. That is not common in college football. Nick Saban has had one undefeated season.
Are you expecting Clemson to run the table the rest of the way?
I could see it.
Well, of course you can see it, but I know who their head coach is, and he shits the bed a lot. So there's just no one they play.
I love Dean's rants on Clemson.
Well, I mean, I know that place well. You want me to start talking about South Carolina?
No,
I don't even know.
That was embarrassing.
No one wants to hear about it.
That was bad.
Well, we have to hear about the Aggies. So,
do we want to get into it? The Aggies suck. That's the worst.
There are 6 teams in college football. I would say maybe 7 with Notre Dame.
Yeah,
and I think that that group, all have issues to some degree. Clemson doesn't look like they did last year.
Alabama's a little banged up. LSU has some defense.
LSU's got to stop.
They got to score that away.
Yeah. Ohio State looks good, but they're not really. Georgia, I think at this stage probably has the best win. It was LSU. I think Georgia has the best win. I think Notre Dame is a legit top 7 team. Yeah. I don't know if you can say that about Texas.
I think we finally have a legitimate Heisman competition too. There's a lot of guys in the mix, and you got Joe Burrow being annoying and throwing 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, why is Joe Burrow talking shit to Vanderbilt?
Because he talks shit. That's what makes Joe Burrow great.
I'd call it annoying. I mean,
well, the problem too is 3 of the best 4 teams very well look like they're in the SEC. I mean, that's
Georgia, Alabama.
What's unfair about the current system is that Clemson gets to waltz into the semifinals everybody else, particularly in the SEC, has a battle royale, and then that's how it goes. I mean, you can make that argument, I guess, with the Big Ten, but at least the Big Ten, Wisconsin's going to be a legit foe for Ohio State.
I always believe in Wisconsin until they lose in the Big Ten championship. This is probably their best team in a long time.
Well,
they embarrassed Michigan, who isn't that good. Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That was embarrassing.
The Gators look just pedestrian. That was bad football today. We saw a lot of bad football.
That's what I wrote in Final Feelings. Just ugly football, lots of turnovers. That's basically been Florida, Tennessee the past 4 years.
Texas didn't even play a good game.
What was that score?
Oklahoma State kept it close. I don't know the final score,
36-30.
But that's what Texas does.
6 points
right?
to Oklahoma
Hello?
State.
Texas,
no,
Texas won?
I mean,
Texas barely won.
They covered then.
This is the first time they've beaten Oklahoma State
5 years.
at home. Yeah, and this is their 6th time. Or it took 6 times.
But back to the Dogs, you do get to a week off next week, and then you've got Tennessee.
They really need that week off for Tennessee,
who is really bad, right? I mean,
they don't need Solomon Kinley in that game. I don't know how bad
really
he is.
Bad. And the SEC's top is really good, but
there's some weak links for sure.
Well, I mean, damn, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, LSU, and Alabama are all in the top 10. And I would not confuse LSU, Georgia, and Alabama with Auburn and Florida. I do think Auburn can beat Georgia down there. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but, you've got Auburn's got to run through a slate of schools. I mean, they got LSU.
Is that Florida game next week?
Florida, Bama, Georgia, and LSU. Auburn plays everybody in the top 10.
Yeah.
Now, tell me the path doesn't matter. I mean, Auburn has no chance to get to the championship, to the playoffs.
They're not running that table.
No. And then that's the part that's,
And A&M never had a chance either because I think they have the toughest schedule in the country.
The corkscrew is Notre Dame. I'm like, do they...
They ran the table after losing to Georgia 2 years ago, right? Or did they lose to Miami late that year?
Yeah, they got drilled by Miami, who sort of had some magic in that moment. Again, Ohio State is the one team now that we're kind of, and maybe Alabama too.
Oklahoma looks good too. They didn't play today, but
God, do you really trust Oklahoma though?
They say that the defense has gotten better.
No, I'm talking about the quarterback.
I mean, he's been playing college football for 8 years now. I think he's got that handle of it. I mean,
I also think he's looked better this year than he had.
He has.
At Bama.
That system is so easy for quarterbacks to thrive in too. He's going to have the numbers, and they're going to push for that Heisman race too. They're going to want a three-peat.
I don't know, Jonathan Taylor.
That kid.
They're going to have to run the table and win the conference, so Jonathan Taylor's going to win it.
No one thinks about Wisconsin though.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've done it to themselves over the years.
Well, I mean, they're South Carolina, basically.
I wouldn't put them that far down.
Well, I would.
They are what they are.
I would put South Carolina's best 5 years against Wisconsin's best 5 years, and you'd have a pretty good competition.
Probably fair.
I mean, Wisconsin's won some Rose Bowls, they've won one, I know, but
I think they just appeared in
yeah. But anyway, the Dogs.
They didn't cover. A win's a win.
They sort of could have, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, also
you're not going to play. By the way, I mean, I know I'm so critical, but you just don't play well all the time. And then they played a legit foe tonight. They gave a touchdown away. They won the game.
Football.
Yeah,
they looked really good. I thought
they did look good.
I thought the third quarter they looked really good.
Yeah.
I think they're allowed to have a game where they're not perfect.
Well, especially this is their first real game.
Well, we're third of the way through this season, man.
But
I mean,
a lot of teams haven't played anyone that
like Ohio State hadn't played anyone.
Yeah,
they haven't. So we don't know about Oklahoma. We don't really know totally about Ohio State. We know about Georgia. We know about LSU. We know about Notre Dame. We know about Clemson. We know about
Alabama.
We know about A&M now.
Yeah.
We know this. We know that. Everybody always, but I just. Can Clemson win a national championship? Yes. Can Alabama? I guess so. Can Georgia? Yes.
What Georgia has going for them.
LSU's got to clean up that defense, bro. I mean, how many points did they allow to Vanderbilt?
38.
A lot.
I mean, one of us is defensive touchdown, but damn.
Georgia's got a defense that's getting better each week, it looks
good.
like. They've got a junior quarterback who some people think is the most reliable, consistent quarterback in the country, and they've got a kicker. They've got a kicker.
Got to work on the punters. Brian Kelly told us, first of all, he said Georgia's as deep a team as he saw. And he said it was the most physical game that he can remember coaching in.
Yeah, it was a physical game.
You could hear the physicality.
Yeah, I mean, you were on the sideline too. Like, what did you think you could hear it?
I just was amazed by the lights of Athens. That shit was crazy.
There were a lot of hard hits in that second.
I don't know.
Richard LeCount
popped
put a man in a body bag.
That was bad. Georgia people should realize how special they've got things. Whether they win it all or not, no one has what Georgia's got with that light show. No one's got that is sick. I mean, I've been to a lot of concerts this year. You don't see stuff like that, and like that's straight up amazing to me.
How much did that cost?
I don't know, but it's worth it. Like those kids,
that was very good. No one's seen anything like that. Whether you're a reporter, a fan, a player, a recruit,
was straight up amazing.
And once again, it made an impact on the game. I mean, it got the fans engaged, and the fans literally changed the game.
Quick shout out to the fans. If you're listening to this and you're at the game, you were loud.
They were great.
6 false starts by Notre Dame, I think, was the total.
1 bad snap.
Two burn timeouts. That really helped.
Yeah,
mattered a lot.
That helped them significantly.
Early in the second half, they blew those.
And Kirby mentioned that too. I mean,
he should have.
Just how much that helped.
Sanford Stadium used to not be like this. It wasn't that bad. Now it's scary to play there.
Yeah,
and it's scary to play there because people believe now. They know that this is legit.
The fans are loud, but that stadium and the lights and everything just took it to a new level.
Right. That was like amazing. It was amazing. I don't use that word a lot, but it was a night people will talk about for a long time. They got a few things to clean up. The good news is they play Tennessee and South Carolina, who are not good, and they've got plenty of time to get ready for the Gators.
Off week next week.
Auburn's going to be tricky.
That defense
they should win
legit.
that game.
Yeah.
Florida's not so hot.
All right, last words.
Nope.
Nope.
Good.
You good?
No, I think.
All right, thanks for listening. Wrapping it up. See y'all next time.